Guys, isn't it your favorite thing in the world, just favorite thing in the damn world, where your skin decides to be just so irritated and like horrendous and feel like straight ass, you know what I mean? Like a steaming hot pile of shit served to you on a lovely platter, you know what I'm saying? My skin feels like it's on fire right now, so that's why I look incredibly oiled up right now. So anyways, hi everyone, it's Isabella here and welcome back to the channel. Today's video, we're talking about another wedding scam. I don't even know how, I think it's maybe like the time of year, or this happens like once a year bare minimum, where there's like a little cluster of weird wedding-based scams or situations that blow up online. I don't know the science behind that. I don't know if it's got the same correlation as like shark attacks and ice cream sales. Regardless, something weird is happening and we're going to talk about it here today. So hi, my name is Isabella. I talk about literally anything and everything here online, like scams, trends, conversations, deep dives, you name it, like all that good stuff, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to talk about an alleged makeup artist scammer when it comes to a wedding. There's a lot that I want to go into in this. It was a video that pulled over 5 million views that started this whole conversation. And it's a brother calling out an alleged scam artist that dropped out of his sister's wedding. I know. So that's going to be very, very interesting to talk about. So before we hop into today's video, don't forget to that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell button down below so that you'll be notified of every single video I post. Now, let's get into this entire mess because, girl, there's so much. Oh my goodness. If you guys don't know, I love talking about the topic of self-pleasure because we really have to break the stigma surrounding it. And so today's video is sponsored by Lilo. Lilo is a luxury pleasure brand that is all about breaking stigmas and removing shame because everybody deserves a fulfilled, intimate life. Now let's talk about the star of the show, which is Mona. This is the Mona Spectra, which is a toy that also has red light therapy combined into it. Now I know that sounds absolutely crazy. I've never heard of something like this before, but I was very, very excited to check it out and try it. So I'll tell you a little bit about it. First things first, it has 10 pleasure modes, 8 modes offline, and then 2 that you can actually specifically on the app. It has 16 smooth ride intensities with gradual build and full app customization. So you're able to really mix it up. Now, if you guys know about skincare, I use red light therapy on my face all the time. Each LED light offers different benefits depending on what your needs are. And with red light therapy, this supports collagen production, blood circulation, and tissue vitality. It has a vibration mode, just a light mode only, or you can have a combination of both. And some other fun facts about Lilo is they offer a 2-year warranty on their devices, 30-day satisfaction guarantee, and worldwide discreet shipping, so no one's getting in your business. So if you guys want to try Mona or any other Lilo product, just go to the link in the description below or pin comment and use the code Isabella20 for 20% off of your order today. And this is also stackable with other current discounts. Thank you so much to Lilo for partnering with me on today's video, and now let's get into it. Actually, when I'm checking this right now, this got 5.6 million views here, and it says makeup artist lies about not making my sister's wedding by Alexis Ruby. So the caption says, please tag, share, and repost. It appears the makeup artist by Alexis Ruby has blocked me. My sister's wedding is next weekend. I was simply hoping she would make things right, but by blocking me, it doesn't appear that's going to happen. So here we are, a video to provide awareness so another bride doesn't fall victim to the situation, booking her services. All right, so now let's get into it.
So, my sister's makeup artist canceled a month before her wedding. This Miss Alexis is the one she had booked. And to give you a brief synopsis on the situation, she sent her a message saying, "Hey, Catherine, I have some unfortunate news. And I'm so sorry to deliver this a month before your wedding, but our Montana bride, the weekend before, just let us know she has to cancel her wedding. So that really leaves me in."
So this is from the makeup artist to his sister. "Hey, Catherine, I have some unfortunate news. I'm so sorry to deliver this a month before your wedding. Our Montana bride, the weekend before you just let us know that she has to cancel her wedding. So that really leaves me in a pickle with your wedding. Flights were not yet booked. So unfortunately, in order for me to come do your wedding, I would now need flights and lodging. I did go ahead and look them up and it would be $480 for flights. I'm again so sorry. It's so extremely rare for a bride to have to cancel. It never crossed my mind of it happening when booking you." Okay, wait a minute. I feel like I'm having a stroke right now. So, okay, from what I understand so far, we have a makeup artist who does not live in Montana, who booked a bride in Montana, bride A, then booked bride B, which is this guy's sister. And so bride A canceled. What's the issue here? If there's individual contracts and individual travel expenses, why is she asking for money then? I'm so sorry. I'm trying to understand what's going on. This doesn't make any sense.
Pickle. This led to her basically asking Catherine to cover her travel expenses, asking for more money, even though a contract right here was signed. And in that contract, it even states how if there is a cancellation of any kind, basically she'll keep.
Okay, pausing this again because I want to read this off to you. So it looks like in the contract there is a cancellation policy. Now, when it comes to booking things like this for brides or just any big booking in general, when you're playing with a decent amount of money, or even if there's no money involved, right? Things like NDAs, it's very important to have things laid out if you are going into business with someone because you don't want to have any confusion. So this is a cancellation policy, and I know a lot of makeup artists have cancellation policies where pretty much if like somebody is like, hey, I'm not able to make it, the makeup artist is not like losing out on a lot of money, which makes sense, right? That's taking a lot of time out of you, like in your day. Also, if somebody like cancels last minute, that could really severely impact somebody's like budgeting. If you are booked up and let's say a bride cancels last minute, that impacts your travel, your entire plans. You could have made more money on that weekend if they didn't cancel last minute. So it's to kind of assure that people are treated fairly. Now, I do think that contract should be upheld not only just for the benefit of the small business, but for also the other person going into business with the person providing the service. So for example, if let's say a makeup artist cancels last minute, kind of like this, they're able to be protected as well. But this cancellation policy says cancellations must be made 60 days prior to your reserved date, or you will be responsible for the full amount agreed upon in this contract. So I'm assuming, again, deposit involved with this. The makeup artist agrees to perform services for all individuals listed above. Should any members choose to cancel their services, it will be the bride's responsibility to cover any previous agreed upon payments. Okay, so there's nothing here describing what would happen if the makeup artist canceled. So keep that in mind.
The deposit. So I'm just wondering, why was that deposit not put towards, the travel expenses for my sister's wedding? But long story short, my sister basically could not meet the terms of sending her additional money because she was already over budget for her wedding. So lo and behold, Miss Alexis is indeed in Montana.
We are currently in Prairie, Montana.
For that wedding, which appears...
Ooh, okay, that changes everything. Again, I'm trying to piece this together with y'all as we kind of go into this story. So if I understand correctly, makeup artist is going to bride A. Bride A is in Montana. Bride B is also in Montana as well. Something happened here that made it to where she can't be there. And what it sounds like is makeup artist and bride B did not have travel expenses booked in, which doesn't make any sense to me because if you're a traveling makeup artist, wouldn't that make the most sense to actually make sure you have these things scheduled so there's no issues? Because also, what does one bride have anything to do with the other bride? Truly, I must know. I mean, if they're in the same state, that's one thing, but that has no correlation. It quite literally shouldn't even matter if the other bride canceled because bride B hasn't canceled. So what is this? Why is she asking for more money then? And if you didn't previously acknowledge the fact that you were going to charge travel expenses, then I'm so confused on how this makeup artist is requesting this. This sounds like a lack of organization. And then the fact that she is in Montana for a wedding. So what's going on? What the hell?
Wasn't canceled at all. And if it was put back on, my sister wasn't notified, which has left my sister still scrambling for a makeup artist. So I'm kindly asking y'all, please just leave this young lady a comment asking if she's going to make things right. I'm only posting this on my story right now. However, I don't really have much hope that she's going to do anything at all other than continue to hide comments or maybe delete them or maybe block me. Yep, she blocked me. I already intend to potentially blast dozens of trial reels if I have to and post a reel on my page basically going deep detail the entire situation pertaining to this because this is my sister. I love her to death and I hate to see her distraught like she is right now. So I appreciate y'all for taking time to watch this.
Like I said, this video blew the hell up because that already sounds completely messy. And I'm sorry, this already smells like some bullshit all just from the jump. It just does to me. But again, if we see some other information as we go along, I'm very, very ready to be wrong. Top comment says, take her to court for breaking the contract. Another one says, I'm a makeup artist in Montana. Where's the wedding? I would help in an instant. I love people that do that. So hopefully she was able to find a makeup artist because this is literally this coming weekend. When I'm posting this, it's going to be the weekend of the wedding. So I'm truly hoping that she's able to find somebody so last minute. Another commenter said, wait, she broke the terms of the contract and she's keeping the deposit? Oh, hell no. You can file in small claims court without a lawyer. A deposit is there to kind of make sure that somebody doesn't screw you over, which is like so valid. If you are booking out and you want to make sure that you don't lose out on money, that somebody isn't taking advantage of your time, half of the charge up front, things like that, that's absolutely normal in the industry. What isn't normal is for someone to keep the deposit when none of the services were provided to begin with. That should be returned, especially if the makeup artist is the one canceling it. fuck no, that's crazy. Another commenter said, what does one person canceling their wedding have anything to do with your sister? None of that is her problem. And then the original poster said, exactly, she made her problem somehow my sister's problem. It's not my sister's fault that a different wedding was canceled and now she has to pay for that. Also, guys, before we react to the makeup artist giving her apology, I found this screenshot. This is from a different account. I will have the account tagged in the description below, but it's a further email kind of adding to the context of the situation that's also discussing more money. So this is a message from the makeup artist to Catherine, and it says, I'm reaching out because I've been receiving numerous negative comments from multiple social media accounts stating that I canceled on your wedding for August 8th. I wanted to clarify the situation because that is not an accurate representation of what occurred. When you booked me, the travel arrangement was based on me already being in Montana for another wedding the week prior. Because of that, I did not need to charge you for airfare or lodging, which I'm sorry, that's actually crazy. So who's covering the week's stay? Unfortunately, the circumstances surrounding my August 1st bride changed unexpectedly. Although her situation was ultimately resolved and I am still able to travel for her wedding weekend, I am no longer able to remain in Montana for the entire week. My original lodging accommodations are no longer available, and extending my stay would now require me to cover approximately $3,000 in additional travel and lodging expenses. As soon as I became aware of this change, I contacted you and offered to still provide services for your wedding, which is crazy again, because this is a you already agreed. That's a you problem, mama. So sorry, respectfully, your problem. Like, I can't. I completely understand that this was outside of your budget, and I genuinely regretted that this change in circumstances affected our original travel plan. At no point did I intentionally cancel on you or abandon my commitment. Well, you did if you planned it wrong. So I worked to find a solution that would allow me to still be there for your wedding despite the unexpected changes. Respectfully, I ask that the inaccurate statement being made on social media cease. Pretty much kind of continues saying like this is damaging her business, which to me sounds like a lot of excuses. This is another email that's giving more context of what's actually going on. So now let's get back into it. So if I go onto the Instagram of the makeup artist, it's completely private now. And if you go onto the TikTok, everything is like gone. However, I have saved the actual reaction because the makeup artist got word of this. I mean, at this point, how could you not know? That's like 5 million people that saw it. And I'm sure it was sent to her countless amounts of times. And I'm sure other brides that she has lined up probably saw that too and maybe canceled because she finally made a response video. However, the response video is over 12 minutes long. And now my hope is there are receipts, there's evidence, there's something to clear this up. Okay, so here is this video. Let's go. Wait, what if she was still in Montana when she was recording this? Just asking, okay? You never know. Like, that would be really, really bad if she's like still in Montana recording this entire thing. Sorry.
This doesn't even feel like real life. I've cried all the tears I think I can cry. There's probably still some in there. I'm clearly not in Montana anymore.
Oh, I just thought it'd be a little bit funny, just a tad funny, if she was still there filming the video. Okay, my bad, I'm wrong. Okay.
Back home in good old Alabama. I want to address Billy first, but I mainly want to talk to my current and future brides. Billy said in his comment to his class that he thinks that I was still staying in Montana for the week, and that he thinks that I was just asking the bride for more money for flights and lodging just to get more money from her. Like I'm a scammer. And that's not true. I still was no longer staying for the week. His sister, I did come to Montana. His sister asked why, when I knew I was coming to Montana, didn't I message Catherine?
So if I'm understanding this correctly, I feel like I'm struggling to register what the hell's going on. So we have bride A, who was the first one in Montana, that did have a wedding and it wasn't canceled and she was there. And it looks like the makeup artist had contracted with her of, hey, you're going to pay for my travel expenses. Okay, cool. And then something happened in between where she was supposed to stay there until the next bride, which is Catherine, and that she was just going to stay on Montana and everything was going to be fine. And now it's not. So, okay, here's what I'm thinking is happening. I think, this is my guesstimate here, she booked everything travel-wise, flight-wise through the first bride and then thought that she could stay for a week and then just scoot on over to the next bride. Something in between happened where her lodging, that like it was not going to work out. She could, and then she had to cough it up on her own. that kind of makes sense, because if your services are done, then why would someone pay for you to stay there longer? Then when that fell through, she went, oh shit, I have to, I don't have the finances. We didn't put that in a contract. So then she went out of her way to ask for money for flights and whatnot so she could come back and actually fulfill a service that she promised that she would fulfill. That also makes no sense to me, because then what did you do? Did you like take a bunch of travel expenses from one bride and not the other? That seems incredibly unfair, especially as a travel makeup artist. Like, we're charging far more for the other than not, and then trying to make it the other, like Catherine's problem. That's fucking insane.
For the week, and that is why I was not charging her for lodging and traveling.
Well, then why did you not charge Catherine that? Because why the hell did we depend on another bride for you to be there over another bride? That shit should be separate contracts, like completely separate. I would never connect one bride and their money to another bride's services like that. I feel like that would screw it up, and clearly it has, because now we're in this situation. And also, why did you say that the wedding was canceled and then post it online, like blatantly, like, hi guys, we're in Montana. I almost said Wyoming. We're in Montana. Like, did you not think that was gonna get caught?
I don't ever not charge for lodging and traveling for a destination wedding. This was very situational. When circumstances changed, I asked Catherine to pay for flights and lodging, and she said it was not in her budget, and which is totally understandable. It's not in my budget either. Trust me, if it was.
Okay, I'm not liking this language remotely. Oh, well, it's not in my budget either. That's a you problem. So sorry, respectfully, and I'm gonna say this and be very, very honest about this. With businesses, we have to realize we can want to do big things, but we do not have the capacity to do large things. And we also have to know our limit, flat out. And this, I think, is a perfect example of it, is, oh, well, I tried to ask for money and it wasn't in the budget, and it wasn't in mine either. That should not prevent you from fulfilling services. And if it does, you need to kind of pull yourself back. I'm gonna give you a very simple example for myself. I have many, many passions and things that I do outside of this commentary channel. I have my TikTok, my Instagram, I have my other lifestyle channel, and I also have a podcast that I actually have stopped recently. And for the simple fact of I want it to become better. I have so many ideas. I need to talk to a trademark attorney as well for a couple of things that I want to work on. And I have a dream of turning that bad boy, moving to LA, maybe it'll happen. I don't know. I want to have like an audio engineer. I want to have a big support behind it. I want to have an entire studio. I would love to have a team backing my podcast project. I have some phenomenal ideas for it, and I think it'd be great. But why am I not doing it right now? Because I don't have the time. I don't have the finances for that. And I know it would not be that good. Like, flat out, if I did it right now, I know it would suck. I know it would disappoint. I know I would not be able to take care of my people that I chose to hire and bring on to something like that. And that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with me. That doesn't mean that I'm not good enough. And that doesn't mean that I'm not going to get there someday. But what it means is I'm self-aware enough to sit back and go, just because I have big dreams doesn't mean I have the capacity to facilitate those. And this is also a conversation that some small businesses and any businesses in general have to have with themselves, is what is my limit? And realistically, how is that going to impact the other people that I bring in? And so for this makeup artist, you have to realize that you only should take on what you're able to do. So if you are not able to travel as a makeup artist, then stay smaller, stay more local, do 2-hour drives instead of flights, right? Like, consider that. Work on your contracts, talk to other makeup artists, make sure you have travel expenses fully taken care of. And that's not to say that people cannot make mistakes and they're learning as they go, but this is to say that sometimes you have to realize that just because you want something doesn't mean you can get it right now or should be doing it right now, especially when it comes to the detriment of other people's experiences, because now it bites you in the ass, right? Now you're getting aired out and 5 million people have witnessed you hurt somebody and their big day. That's not fair.
I would be there. I'm a mom. I'm a mom of 4 and 2 bonus. Our kids are starting school, and right now it's just not feasible. When I said something about $3,000 to Catherine, I did not mean that it was going to cost her $3,000. What I meant was, if I were to pay to stay for the week, it was going to at least be, just for lodging, cost me $3,000. The mountains are expensive. I could return back to Montana. I'm from Alabama. I could return back to Montana for the weekend if Catherine was able to pay for my flights and lodging. I didn't even ask anything about a rental car. I was just going to do that myself. And again, it wasn't in her budget, but unfortunately it wasn't in mine either. Billy was right in what he said, that, no, even though the circumstances changed, that was not Catherine's responsibility because we had a contract. I agree with him. However, I can't afford to go back to Montana on Thursday to do her rehearsal on Friday, do her wedding on Saturday, and then come back home. I can't afford to pay for round trip flights and my lodging for those 3 days and a rental car. Not right now. Due to real life stuff. I'm not a lot of makeup artists are, young girls who, the really popular ones anyways, that I feel like gives a platform for makeup artistry.
All right, now you're pissing me off. I really pride myself with my content, especially how I'm trying to focus on the way I talk about these topics, to be very understanding and empathetic when it needs to be, because I think lots of topics on the internet are not held with some care that they should be. What I won't do is sit here and listen and enable this poor me shit and bringing up things that have literally nothing to do with the topic at hand. Oh, well, I'm a mom. I have things going on. There also are many, many mothers who have small businesses and do things as well that don't screw over a bride, right? So that literally is nothing to me. The conversation of, oh, well, I'm not like a young makeup artist, so it's like the popular girls. Girl, damn, I wasn't either. Like, if we're gonna keep it real here, girl, I was not a popular girl in school at all. Oh my God. I'm just saying, if 15-year-old me saw like, oh my God, girl, we got like thousands of people that watch us like yap online, I'd shit myself. 15-year-old me would be like, what the fuck? I'd feel like Miley Cyrus, okay? So like, no excuse. I'm so sorry. I mean, you can go from weirdo that doesn't know anything to learning everything and figuring it the hell out. And by the way, I'm still a weirdo. I just figured it out. So that's bullshit, okay? When you have a reputation and when you are going through a crisis like this, you have to acknowledge when you screw up. We are how many minutes into this video, and I have yet to hear a thorough apology. What? I'm sorry, but like, why are we bringing up excuses like that? If you know that, then if you know that you are not capable of handling things or you are too busy, then we got to do something else, babe. Like, genuinely, we cannot project things like that and put it onto somebody else to have them take responsibility for the fact that you did not put proper contracts in place. That's not fair. We're not talking about who is popular. We're talking about the wrong that happened where this bride is having to scramble last minute to find a makeup artist. That's the problem. I don't care about what's going on over here. I'm talking about what's going on over here. And let's not get off the freeway and go to the dead end. Let's stay here in the present day situation with what's going on. Okay? Okay. Thank you.
In the social media world, they're, young and they have a lot less responsibilities and a lot more freedom that I don't have. I started this career as a single mom, and I've spent 11 years building it successfully. My reputation has always preceded me. I have sacrificed so much to build this career. I have never no-showed a bride. I truly believe with my entire heart that those comments are troll accounts or people that just love to see me fall. I've never done that, and I would never do that. You know who I've no-showed is my children. That's who I've no-showed. I've never made it to a soccer game. I've never made it to my son's track meets. Unless they're on school days, like during the week, because all of my weekends go to my brides. I've missed so many important events. Last year, my husband was literally dying, and I left the hospital. I had not showered or anything and went and did a wedding. And they put him in ICU literally while I was at the wedding. I always show up for my brides. The older I get, the more I sit with regret. My son has 2 more years of high school, and when you get older, you realize like what matters, and you realize how fast it goes by, that your kids grow, and I'm so sorry. I'm trying not to cry. And I have sacrificed so many of God. I've sacrificed so much. My kids are such great soccer players, and I've never seen them
her feelings could be incredibly valid and these experiences could be so true. And so I don't want to just like bulldoze over that and act like that doesn't exist, because like it's not just for a video. It's genuinely like something that she's really feeling like weight on. This was the final straw. So I don't want to discredit that. But again, I at the same time, I'm not going to forget about the original topic at hand. I do think that from what I'm seeing, this woman is really going through it and is having some struggles right now. And I, again, do not want to forget, but regardless, I do not feel like this is the time nor place to be mentioning that. For example, if she were to come on, here's where I can understand this. If she were to come on and say, you know what, I messed up. I forgot to do something. I have several kids. I really did mess up. Like I totally forgot. I got sidetracked, just something to that extent. I would have significantly more understanding of that. Like, you know what, maybe it really did slip her mind. Shit happens. Mom brain, you get busy, right? I forget things sometimes. So like we're all human beings at the end of the day, but we're still not apologizing.
Unless it's a random weekday that they have a game. This is none of anybody's business. I'm just sharing it to tell you guys, like, I've never not been there for you guys. Never. Oh God. Okay, current brides and future brides, God, I'm an ugly crier. I'm so sorry that this raises concern for you guys. But you have my word and you have my heart. You guys have always had my heart. That you have nothing to worry about. I have had a bride cancel. Just one so far. I've had 3 text me with concerns, but they were so kind. You guys don't have anything to worry about. I promise you. For the personal comments in Billy's video, I haven't always been a child of God. I've been a villain in people's stories, as we all have at some point in our lives. Those comments have nothing to do with anything, and shame on those people, for some of them were such a lie. And I wish that sometimes I wish that I wasn't so kind, but I do not believe an eye for an eye. I will never believe in being an eye for an eye girl. I believe in God so deeply. You guys have made fun of me so much. I've even gotten request forms on our website of people making fun of me and God, me being like a Jesus girl. And I don't care.
So I feel like some of the comments she's referring to are some examples like this. I'm going to pull up here real fast. There's one that says, she literally ghosted me on the day of my birthday party last year. She was working a wedding and didn't even tell me she couldn't do my makeup. Another commenter said, she did something similar to my friend the week right before or the week of her wedding. Her excuse was she accidentally double booked that day and then canceled her. There was a more of an occurring theme that was happening of people commenting and saying like their negative experiences with her. So I think that's what she's kind of like talking about.
I'm so rooted in him. I know that this is a spiritual attack. At one point, I felt so bad. I'm such a people pleaser. And I was like, Mom, maybe I should just like pay for, her hair and makeup or with whatever artist. But then once I realized how evil these people are, it just no longer felt that way. This has all been for clout and for followers. Billy was reached out to about how people have been threatening other people's careers. They've been threatening. They were commenting on my daughter's stuff. They went into 2017 of my mom's things. It has been such an evil attack, and this has gone so.
I mentioned this before on my channel. I'm sorry. The amount of like, ooh, okay moments that I'm having in this video is like really bad. I cannot stand when people who are religious that like to say, oh, has to be a spiritual attack, but it's consequences of their actions, right? Like it's not a legit, like this must be the devil, but it's it's what they did. This is not a spiritual attack. Don't get me wrong. I have to make this very clear. Harassing people, going bother them. know how I work. I do not even want you supporting me if you think that's like some fun shit to do. Don't be bothering people like that. We talk about it here and that's it. I never would want that for her. I think that's going too far, and it's kind of veering off of the actual thing that we should be discussing, which is the alleged scam. But I think that's absolutely crazy to just say, oh, well, this has to be a spiritual attack. Now this is getting manipulative. Consequences are not spiritual warfare. You doing something that inevitably causes serious problems for people and you getting called out for it, that is quite literally Y equals MX plus B. Like that's literally, it follows the formula, babe. I don't know what to tell you.
So far, some people would comment things that had nothing to do with the whole wedding situation. Billy would say, ooh, DM me. That's also how I knew this. At the end of the day, this had nothing to do with trying to make things right for his sister. It was all for a following. And once he was filled in about that, he said, well, my video has 7,000 saves. I'm not deleting it. And that's when I knew. And I am so glad that I canceled that wedding. Those are not my people. And I know that God is going to bring me my people. People that believe in me. Thank you so much for all of this kind text messages.
You're not obligated to have a video taken down about you if you were doing some bullshit. Clearly, you're not apologizing and feeling bad about it. So like, I'm sorry, but with how she's acting like this, I would not want to book with her because of how she's handling this. I go, this sounds like it's me, poor me. And I'm actually thinking about how you were literally giving them a vibe that you were trying to snatch money from them. No, I would not want to book with you. So yeah, it'd be kind of nice to know about this. Like, I mean, shit, if I'm looking up a makeup artist to see if there's any bad reviews, I would hope a video like this would pop up.
It meant the absolute world to me. I'm not okay, but I'm going to be okay because this will be for God's glory in the end. God is my defender. And I have the favor of God over my life. My testimony says it. I've never been able to share a lot of my testimony because it involves other people whose lives have changed for the better, and I would never bring up their past again. But this testimony is going to be public. And everybody's going to watch how great God is and what he can do for you and what he's going to do in my life. And glory be to God. He is a score settler. And although this is all so much and so insane, and I have felt like the world is just crashing on me, I also still have joy because of him. I've talked, and if you go to my TikTok, I've talked about other videos about idolizing this career. And me and God have had so many talks about, like, you know, what if he were to take it all from me? Because at one point I did idolize it, and he dealt with me in that. And none of you, Billy, all of you being mean to me, you guys are silly if you think that you carry authority to end my career. God has the final say-so. And if my career ends, it will be because there's a lesson to learn in this for everyone. And because he has something greater for me on the other side. And I will be okay.
I'd like to say that it's not an attempt to end somebody's career if you're sharing a review or trying to bring awareness to something, nor would I want that. I feel like there's got to be a really, really bad situation going on. Like when I've talked about like illegal lip injectors, right? Shut that shit down. Multi-level marketing companies, get it out of here, right? Bullshit, scams. It's not actually something good. Those things definitely need to be shut down in my perspective. But in the grand scheme of a situation like this, I don't think everyone just needs to be shut down. What I think is accountability and learning needs to happen. And that's for everyone, right? Everyone can have mistakes and hiccups. It's how you handle it that actually counts. And some people, unfortunately, their mistakes are blasted online and they're witnessed by millions. We are literally, this whole video is almost done. No apology. Like, this is some bullshit.
God is my defender. And the truth will prevail. It always does. Like, it always does. Time and time again, he has shown me. And so I might have my moments through all this, but I'm going to be okay. I'm going to leave all my social media public. I know I'm still going to get hate. So you guys have at it, but I'm going to be okay.
Okay, so that was the entire non-apology apology. I genuinely really thought that she was going to say something to kind of wrap it up. I honestly was like, dang, okay, maybe she's going through some shit. Like, please, Alexis, please say something. Please say, I'm sorry. Please do something. I beg, anything. So the brother actually did come out and actually make a couple of additional statements and follow up when it comes to the actual video. So let's watch.
Okay, part 2. There's several things I want to discuss in this video and honestly answer a couple of common questions to clear some stuff up that are somehow misunderstood. But first and foremost, number 1, the sharing of personal information. I have a screenshot here of an individual who shared the husband's name, phone number, business address, etc. Do not do this. I commented even below that I don't approve of this. That comment has been removed. If you've made a comment like that or going to, don't do it, delete it. I just think it's such a scumbag move. The husband may not even been aware of this entire situation, and I don't think his business should suffer, catch any strays due to this makeup situation. Number 2, the refund. Oh my goodness, y'all. So nowhere in my first video did I say that my sister was not refunded. That wasn't even the purpose of the video. She was indeed refunded. I had mentioned the cancellation policy, and I was saying how the makeup artist had probably received, and I was just wondering why can't that be applied to, the travel expenses for my sisters.
Oh, I see what he's talking about. That makes so much more sense now. Okay, so he's saying the alleged wedding that was canceled, and usually you keep the deposit from a canceled wedding. Why wouldn't that money go towards bride B, Catherine's expenses? Okay, I see what he's saying there. All right, so that's why he was saying it. And then because everything was weird and canceled, and then they didn't hear back, and then they were refunded, then they saw that she was lying, but then trying to ask for money. I understand why okay, that makes so much more sense. That's why he's talking about this now.
Again, I'm not a makeup artist. I don't know about any of these things, but my sister has been, in fact, refunded. So that's not the issue here. Which brings me to point number 3, was the actual purpose of the video. It was meant for 2 things, regarding the cancellation of the other wedding and how she was somehow there yesterday, and number 2, how she didn't honor her agreement. She was asking for more money when a contract was signed and a deposit was made. So there's a lot of confusion regarding this timeline, but it's very easy, I promise you. June 30th is the original email sent claiming the wedding was canceled. The wedding cancellation in question was August 1st. My sister's wedding is August 8th. We let everything rest, or I should say my sister has, for an entire month. It was obviously water under the bridge. She was still very upset until lo and behold, she hopped on social media yesterday and saw this makeup artist at that wedding. And she was upset, understandably so.
We have our bride's rehearsal today, and then tomorrow is the wedding. I'm going to be spamming y'all with all the content and the views.
Which prompted then this video bringing things to light, which has then created other comments and messages that I've received where there's similar instances where she's no-showed or double booked, or there seems to be a history here. That's the purpose of the video. And lastly, number 4, another common question: has my sister made a commitment to another makeup artist? The answer is she has been in touch with several people. She does have a trial set up for later this week, so fingers crossed everything goes smoothly. We're so grateful for the amount of people that have been reaching out to help out, support, providing suggestions. It's been overwhelming, to say the least. Y'all are amazing. That being said, hope you all have an amazing Sunday.
So I have to say, I think it is very, very good when people come out and say, hey, by the way, like, don't be posting some bullshit. Don't be harassing family. That's not the point of this, because you can hold somebody accountable without doing the extra bullshit. That's literally part of my channel rules. I'm like, if you go bother people, don't do it. Exactly. Like, I literally don't want anyone doing that. It's incredibly counterproductive, and it goes very much against the perspective that I have, that people should have redemption arcs and times where they get better and learn from their mistakes. That's incredibly important. There was a comment that was brought up in this that I thought was very, very good. And this is one that says, I feel like he explained it and made himself very clear that it wasn't about the money, but in fact, it's the principle of it all. To be a business owner and conduct yourself without honesty or integrity is outrageous. In my opinion, I feel like the point was to bring awareness of how a makeup artist conducts herself and her business. And at the end of the day, her morals, ethics, and values weren't honest. Instead of acknowledging, owning up, and being honest about the situation, the makeup artist did the exact opposite. Bottom line is that it's about the principle. Yeah, his sister did get her money back, but the makeup artist should have made it right. If not for the sister, then at least for herself, her business, and reputation. I don't know if that's just my 2 cents, and I could be right or I could be wrong, but her wrongs were not made right. And Billy, the original poster, said exactly and spot on. And I do think that this, unfortunately, is something that does happen a lot, and that's also why I talk about these things and I try and share stories, because some people do not have the confidence to speak up. And so then it happens and happens again until one person finally says something. And I don't think it's crazy to say, hey, this person was not being professional, was trying to take more money, because that puts people in a bad spot. And then somebody may feel like they have no other choice but to cough up more because of the lack of professionalism of a makeup artist, because they cannot find any other person to help them. And I'm sorry, but with the way that this was handled, of making excuses, no like legit apology, trying to pinpoint that this has to be spiritual warfare, I would not want to work with somebody like that. And again, this has nothing to do with religion. This has to do with professionalism. I would not want to work with somebody that excuses their behaviors like that and goes, oh, it must be somebody else but me. That's not fair. If she flat out, I'm not kidding, if she flat out said, hey, my bad, I did do this, I'm so sorry, this is exactly what I'm going to do about it, like I would genuinely like, you know what, good, spot on you, that sucks, but I'm really proud of you. I also know for weddings, things have to be booked in far in advance. And there are many makeup artists who are booked out incredibly far. So when you have something like this a month canceled, I can only imagine how incredibly difficult it is to find somebody that you like, that works with your schedule, and specifically your budget. That's another really big aspect. So it is unprofessional and inconvenient because it not only impacts the bride, but finding somebody else who can do the job. So I really hope that she was able to find a makeup artist that works well for her. But this situation is unprofessional. But I do believe that that was an issue. And if many other people were reporting and saying that they've experienced the same, then that may sound like that's a pattern of business and that needs to be addressed internally instead of blaming other people. You know what? I'll just leave it at that. I think that's enough to my 2 cents that I have to say about this absolute mess. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think the makeup artist was right or wrong? Was there any confusion there? Have you guys had any experiences like this? I would absolutely love to know. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you guys next week. Stay safe. Love you guys. Bye.